I got a problem with this episode.
Yeah, I got a lot of problems, dude. And the pitch ain't one, dude.
Damn.
Jay-Z knew what was up.
Okay, so we're already having a massive difference of opinion.
I remember you. Okay, but hold on. Let's not start right away.
No, let's
get riled up, dude. Get riled up, dude.
No.
Well,
Yeah, dude.
okay.
Let's start at a 10.
Well, okay. So what is your thing with the episode?
It's just magic xylophone bullshit. That's all. It's just something I need to point out. It's just something I'll point out when relevant.
Okay. That immediately explained what's going on. What about you, Ricardo? What was
It just crazy, dude. This is a crazy episode, and there's so many things going on. We're gonna get into it.
Okay. We'll get into it. Hey, look, we started a podcast right on topic. Hey, everybody. This is Newbie Star Trek. Welcome to the podcast.
I thought we were Quiet Riot.
If you're new, welcome. I'm Marvin. I'm here with Dan and Ricardo. Hey, guys.
I'm Dan. Hello. This is how I sound every week.
It's common. Common's here.
No, I'm not really here. This is just a hologram, guys. I'm actually on a plane right now on tour. It's really cool. When they put me in the green room, there's plenty of pineapple.
He loves pineapple.
Does he?
I sure do.
I don't know. I imagine he does.
I just thought you knew something I didn't. Like, it's like a thing about common. Maybe that's why,
Thank you, Ricardo, for forcing me to continue this bit.
Yeah. Well, we should start a thing called common things. And then
common things.
Yeah, common things.
About the episode.
We all have a lot in common.
We do.
In fact, you could say there's a little common in all of us.
Is there? Oh.
I mean, if you ate the pieces you were given.
Yeah.
At church.
Oh boy. We're going off the rails fast, guys.
Yeah, we started on the rails
when we started
and then we flew
on Star
off.
Trek?
Oh, I'm sorry. So Ricardo is going on a journey with us through Star Trek because he hasn't watched any of the shows before. So we've started with TNG for whatever reason, and then that's us. And this week we watched Pen Pals, which I said last week is a personal favorite of mine.
You did?
But I seem to have disagreements, which is great. I actually think that's fantastic. I
thought this was about the Traveler again, and it fucking isn't, dude.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Also, I was foiled again by my goddamn imagination.
Yeah, I can see how that could easily happen with an episode like this.
And you know what? They did. The director of this episode also was like, "Dude, this could have been much better." And like the director was like, he saw the original version of the
Release
script.
the Snyder cut.
Yeah, it was like, oh, this is great. This is a great episode. And then apparently, Rick Berman and Gene Roddenberry got their hands on the script and were like, this needs to be a more technical script. We need to have more technical elements.
How many more seasons until we stop having stories that include, Gene Roddenberry?
Yeah,
third season. That's basically.
Is that when he died?
That's basically when he was like, go over there.
Fine.
Yeah, Gene, go eat your berries, you bitch.
But we still have Rick Berman though, who is
dude.
not. And there's that other
is he the guy from Channel 5 News, Rick Berman.
I'm a Hal Fishman guy.
Yeah, me too.
Hal Fishman and what was that guy who was like, he was like perfect for the weather? Like his name was perfect for the weather. I forgot his name.
There are a lot of weathermen.
Dallas Raines. Yeah. I was like, how could you not be a weatherman?
I think he's still on KABC 7 now.
I imagine he would be.
Back in the day, it was him and Johnny Mountain. Bam.
Yeah, Johnny. These are such strong names, know. And I wonder how many people like these get by in life because of their name.
Well, I have a suspicion that if you're a meteorologist, you take on like a meteorologist name, like a porn star.
Oh, he had to change his name to Dallas Raines.
Not that he had to, but he decided, you know what? I need to give him the old razzle dazzle.
The best part, I just looked up Dallas Raines. So it's his real name, but also he very specifically studied meteorology.
Well, then that might be an example of.
That was his life's calling. Yeah.
Yeah, it might just be like your name influences, you know?
You know,
it's like everyone told him growing up, you know what? Your name would be great for a weatherman.
You like the weather. I can feel like it, you know. Like, I wonder if people like Wolf Blitzer, they get by because his name is Wolf Blitzer. Even though
totally he got by because his name is Wolf Blitzer. Have you seen him on TV? Have you seen how he delivers a story?
He's so nothing.
He is nothing but his name.
Yeah, basically. But anyway, pen pals.
What?
First, what? What?
I'm still angry about Wolf Blitzer.
It's like William Riker.
Well, I mean, based on the last episode, he may have gotten by a lot because his dad's famous.
So like Riker, I hardly know her.
What's riking?
Yeah.
You got riked. I don't know.
Get riked, nerd.
That doesn't sound very good.
Yeah, it does sound
Get riked, scrub.
Pen Pals first aired on May 1st of 1989. Dan, could you take us around the sun?
Zoom. Okay, so on May 1st, 1980. Well, not on May 1st. I need to stop beginning this segment that way. Well, we all love a good Mike Tyson update.
Very.
Let's check in on what Mike Tyson was doing. Is he going to be a
fixture of Around the Sun?
Until I stop finding news stories about him. Okay, admittedly though, I do think that the media was kind of obsessed with Mike and looking for stories about him.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's why he keeps on popping up.
Yeah.
But and in fact, I have skipped over certain Mike Tyson updates in the past because some of them were huge nothing burgers. Anyway, this one is actual of substance because he actually had a speeding ticket for drag racing his Lamborghini in Albany, New York.
That's fine.
Mike.
Worst things happen outside of my apartment.
I know. Sadly, on the same day, we just discussed her last week. Lucille Ball died of a heart attack. And I'm sorry. On the, I think it was April 28th that happened. It might be a day or two off. I'm sorry.
Wow.
On April 30th, very notably, if we're talking about Star Trek, we are all about technology. A British CERN scientist named Tim Berners-Lee put his World Wide Web software in the public domain. And that pretty much set off, the internet as we know it today.
Wow. Imagine if the internet wasn't public domain.
Yeah, the original World Wide Web was just a site that told you about what the World Wide Web was, basically. You can actually see a model of it, or like they've recreated that original first website ever on the CERN's website. Like you can go to CERN's website and find it somewhere.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. However, sadly on the same day, April 30th, director Sergio Leone died of a heart attack.
Sad news, dude.
Yeah, lots of sick.
You think that like immediately the day after the internet went a public domain, somebody tried to put like erotica on the internet? like immediately they made it about sex.
Well, the internet was primarily originally like a college affair between universities, so yes.
Yeah, it was the whole point of the original project was to, be able to share and move data around.
Yeah. Data.
Ha 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 ha.
That's not even funny. It's just the word. It's just the same word.
I know.
The rapper The Weeknd was born?
I can't confirm that, but it might as well have happened. I think you're right, Ricardo. Damn, Ricardo with the history. The Weeknd.
Ricardo's raising the roof for the listeners who can't see.
Weeknd saw the release of a movie called. This is almost nothing, but it was just kind of funny to me. It was a movie called K9.
Oh, okay.
What?
K9. Ricardo knows.
Oh, I don't know.
It starred, according to Jim's, Belushi.
Oh, the bad one.
Yeah, he teamed up with a German Shepherd named Jerry Lee, named after the rock singer Jerry Lee Lewis, in order to catch a drug dealer. It's funny though, and I guess this is why I put it on my list at all. It's because every synopsis I found, it had to be sure to mention how much of a smart aleck the dog was. The dog was a smart aleck.
Smart aleck.
And it had to use that word in like, it must have been in all the copy and all of the press kits and everything, because everything called the dog a smart aleck. So that's our trip around the sun, everybody.
Before we leave the sun, Turner and Hooch came out, and everyone's like, "We got to do our dog movie, man." So
Yeah,
then we
man.
had
It's all about buddy cop
Buddy
movies
dog.
are out. Buddy cup dog movies are in.
we had K9, and then Chuck Norris had to get in there, and he was like, "Oh, but he did it like 7 years too late, and his was K9. No, his was Top Dog."
Well, K9, interestingly, I left it out of what I wrote down here, but K9 actually spawned 2 like direct-to-home sequels and an animated series. They actually tried really hard to turn K9 into a thing.
Is it like K9, like the letter K?
Yeah, K-9. You know, like the cops say.
Okay. All right. Well, you know,
There was also K9000, by the way. That was in space.
what
Isn't that
is that a sequel?
what's the Doctor Who dog? K9 something?
Oh, I don't know.
I know there's a
oh,
Doctor Who dog that
Yeah.
also has like a name kind of like that.
It's like a robot dog. Yeah. That robot dog is named K9. Yes,
God damn it.
that's what he's named. Yeah.
Oh wow, anticlimactic. Doctor Who fans are so mad at us right now. I'm sorry.
I have seen 2.5 episodes of the new run of Doctor Who when it came back about 10 years ago or whatever. That's all I've really ever seen. I would catch it when it would show up in between episodes of TNG.
So what you're saying
BBC
is
America.
you need to be roped into a podcast called Newbie Doctor Who.
that podcast would last centuries. Doctor Who is such a fucking long series.
Yeah.
To the point where
You
some
say
of the,
that like there isn't tons of Star Trek that we're ostensibly committed to cover.
Okay, you think Star Trek is a lot. Doctor Who
Okay,
is
yes, you are
a
right. There is
lot.
way more Doctor Who than there is of Star Trek.
Oh,
But don't
man.
pretend like we are in for a long haul here if we continue to do this.
Oh
Yes.
man. Yeah.
Like it will easily outlast all of our lives.
Yeah. If somebody were to sponsor the show, it would last forever.
Well, I mean, somebody has sponsored the show. It's ExpressVPN.
Whoa.
Damn, dude. Damn,
So
dude.
I guess that settles it. We're on forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? ExpressVPN, they're pretty great. If you don't know what a VPN is, a VPN basically encrypts your connection to the internet so it seems like you are on the internet from a different location. So you could pretend that you're in France and you could see French Netflix, or you could pretend you're in the UK and see UK Disney Plus, which is very different.
Yes.
One thing I've done actually a few times is actually gone to Netflix Japan and then look for anime there, because a lot of anime is just distributed in Netflix Japan. It is hit or miss whether you'll have English subs or not, but the possibility is there to just see if you can find it or not. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, but if you know your Nihongo pretty well, then
like
have at it.
Dan will just watch it. He'll be like, whatever, I'll just watch it.
I'm not good enough to just watch it and really, really feel like I've understood it. Sometimes out of desperation, I will.
Well, anyway.
But that's more for VTuber streams that'll just be like, I can't understand everything, but I'm watching this.
Just do it. You just force
just
yourself.
doing it.
And you just watch and look for context, and you're like, oh, funny, yes. Anyway, that's ExpressVPN. If you want it, it's, you know, there are other VPNs out there, but ExpressVPN is a fairly high quality VPN. It's got over 3,000 servers in 160 locations spanning 94 countries.
Dang.
You can use it on pretty much every device you can think of. If you have a device, there's an app for it. Like we mentioned, it actually works with Netflix. Netflix creates a blacklist of VPN IP addresses, but ExpressVPN actually bypasses it pretty well. It's also super fast. I've done personal tests on ExpressVPN because Dan and I actually both use ExpressVPN.
I don't
Sure
have
do.
that VPN. I've said it before, but if you're a new listener, I'm sorry. I got locked into a different VPN before this thing, and now I'm in it for fucking 2 years. I'm sorry.
Which is fine. I mean,
Yeah.
An ExpressVPN you can get. I've tested it; goes 500 up, 500 down. At least from my location, which is pretty dang good. And honestly, the biggest thing I always worry about with stuff like VPNs is the security. And their record for security is pretty much next to none. Like, you can look it up yourself and look up the history of ExpressVPN and the way they have turned down government subpoenas and all that. And
Yeah.
if you know
They
that's
throw them.
important.
They put them in the turkey sandwiches. When Turkey sends them a subpoena, they eat it with their turkey sandwich.
Yeah,
And they say,
the
we'll
Turkish
ship this
government one
subpoena.
is like
Yeah.
the most prolific one. But
Yeah.
anyway, if you go to expressvpn.com/newbie Star Trek, and if you sign up for 12 months, they give you an extra 3 months for free. That makes each month only $6.67 a month, which is a pretty dang good deal for this quality of VPN.
Yeah.
There are other VPNs. I'm not going to lie. There are other VPNs that are cheaper, some of which are free. But I'm having done a lot of research with VPNs in general, especially with my own thing where I'm always worried about like, because net neutrality is dead. So now your ISP actually has the ability to look at what you're looking at.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, it's innocuous, but at the end of the day, they start creating like a marketing profile of you and doing all this stuff that you don't want them to do, which is
And
kind
actually
of why
something that you might actually feel from time to time is throttling based on what websites you're trying to access.
Yeah.
yes,
They
like
can prioritize bandwidth and speed, internet speed. And sometimes when they're really popular websites that use a lot of bandwidth, YouTube, you might not want to let them know that is exactly what you're looking at, because if they
Yeah.
don't know it's what you're looking at, suddenly they don't know to slow you down.
Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube and I regularly have ExpressVPN pretty much 24/7 on my phone because otherwise I just don't get it streamed without choppiness.
Like since you've been saying that on the podcast, I realized that I could get the app on my phone, and I've since started to use it a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
Not to make this ad longer, but we actually use VPNs on the reg, but like if you go to anywhere you go, dude, you want to go to IKEA and you're in one of their goddamn dungeons and you can't get out, and we're like, well, I need to text somebody to find out if this is a stupid thing they want. You can't get reception usually because it's so many layers of furniture. You gotta jump on the free Wi-Fi, but you don't want to jump on the free Wi-Fi and then it's because they know everything, dude. So you put on the VPN, join the IKEA Wi-Fi, and boom, they don't know what kind of shit you're fucking texting.
Yeah. So if you want all those benefits of a quality VPN like ExpressVPN, you can head over to expressvpn.com/newbie Star Trek. That's NEWBIE Star Trek. And yep, if you sign up for 12 months, you get 3 months for free. It's a pretty good deal.
Or don't
remember that
fuck,
Star
dude.
Trek with a K
instead of a Star Trek with a ACK.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
Star Trek.
What an idiot you were for thinking that.
Anyway,
Stupid straw man.
you know who wasn't a straw man?
Ricardo, could you please tell us what happened in this episode?
No, that was a really dumb transition. So I am very curious actually to hear what you guys have to say about pen pals, because like I said last week, it's a personal favorite of mine, and I'd forgotten, and it might be because it's written by Melinda Snodgrass, writer of Measure of a Man. Yeah, I had actually forgotten about that, and I think that makes sense, but it's definitely not nearly as good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So anyway, Ricardo, please.
Old Grassy wrote this?
Yeah, Melinda Snodgrass. Yeah.
All right. So pen pals. There's so many goddamn storylines. It starts off. The episode starts off, and they're gonna go look at some planet again. They're picking up somebody or dropping off somebody. Always Ubering. Got to make that extra money, dude. Especially on those double weekends when you get double cash. So the captain's not on the bridge. It's all Riker.
Mm-hmm.
And they're on their way to this planet that is having a lot of seismic activity. I don't know what it's called. It's called like so it's cheese or some sort of fucking planet. It's like, but it's a group of planets, and one of them has like an asteroid belt because it exploded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
these planets keep exploding.
Yeah,
for some
something
reason.
sketchy.
Stop exploding, you cowards.
Yeah. And then, in this episode, we have a storyline, B storyline, like always, and then this one also has like a weird kind of C storyline, but not really.
What would you consider the C storyline?
I guess I was thinking the captain and Deanna Troi Is it Deanna Troy? Yes. Counselor Troy, the stupid horse thing.
Oh. That's apparently written in just because Melinda Snodgrass likes horses.
See,
Well, it also gave them all an opportunity to go out and touch some grass.
That's true.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like,
I guess so.
Hey, we don't have to be in the set anymore. We can go to the park next door
And have
Yeah.
There's a history of what's his name? What's the actor's name? Jean-Luc Picard's Patrick Stewart.
Tim Burton.
Yeah. I'm terrible with names. There's a history of Patrick Stewart on the show just like writing things, and eventually, like when you get to the movies, there's one movie where he's like, I really like driving. I'm like really into driving. I'd love if we had like a dune buggy scene. And they're like,
No, you got it.
all right, we'll have a dune buggy scene for you.
So you're saying he's going to be in F10?
Yeah.
That'd be sick. If
I know,
Patrick
right?
Stewart wasn't
Dude,
a Fast and Furious movie, that would legitimately be really cool.
Wait, this can make sense, dude. I can make this work.
Because we already have the transporter in the series.
He's Statham's dad in the show, in the movie.
Oh, that fits absurdly well.
and he's like his estranged father, and Helen Mirren and him have scenes together. And then at one point, he says, "Oh, fuck you, mate."
Oh my god!
And you're like, "No, my god!" They both say, "Fuck you, mate," dude.
Oh my god!
Oh, shit, dude.
Oh my god! I would. Okay,
Universal, get at me, dude. I'll write it.
I haven't.
It's
I'm gonna be honest.
basically.
I haven't seen a Fast and Furious movie since the first one, but I would see this one right away.
Yeah,
if it happened, I don't care. I know there's a continuity that I'm not caught up on.
You don't need to know.
I would.
It'd be kind of like Fast and the Furious and the Last Crusade.
Oh yeah, that's basically what it is.
Have you guys did you guys ever see the Justin Lin movie Better Luck Tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, it's in the same universe, by the way, already.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he establishes the same. Just because he's like, it's my movie, I can just pretend this is in the.
Han is in the movie, one of the characters.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Han's in the character, and then other characters show up. I don't want to spoil it.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Because it's a very different type of movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I started a tangent in the middle of Star Trek talk.
I apologize.
We got to get back to the Star Trek.
Anyway, my long story short, I thought the reason why Patrick Stewart was on a horse was because he was telling the producers, I would really love if I could ride a horse sometime this season.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of out of nowhere. It connects to nothing else in the episode.
And I suspect he doesn't know how to ride a horse because he never got on it. So
this is a scene where
there was one long tracking shot of him, just driving his horse.
He is British. It's like very weird for British people to not know how to ride a horse. It's just like kind of built into their DNA.
Yeah. So they're looking at this planet, and for the first time, someone's doing what I want them to do, which is Worf. He's always like, could it be foul play? Like that the planets are blowing up. Like he's always like, he's kind of like that's me. Like I'd be like, nah, some shit going on, dude. Let's not go there. It's like, why would they're like, no, let's go explore these planets that are blowing up. Nah. If they're blowing up, let's not explore them. Let's just let things be.
Yeah.
But anyway,
and then Riker's response is like, "Oh, planets blow up all the time," and you're like, well, "No, they don't.
It's
that's
natural,
not a property
man.
of planets."
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
And then at one point somebody says, I forget in what part he's like they live fast and they die fast.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not a thing we say, man.
No.
These aren't planets going out there partying and shit.
These planets live fast and die furiously.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I fuck you, mate. By the way, I want to say one of you out there, and I know I saw you on Twitter, you made a thing with Jason Statham as the captain, and God damn it, dude. That was a beautiful thing.
Johnny Diggs is his name.
Yeah.
Diggs.
I dig it. I digs it, if you know what I mean. And it's beautiful. I will retweet it. I think I just liked it, but I didn't retweet it. I'll retweet it.
Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, they've been fun. Every once in a while, we'll just get a notification. It's like, oh, there's a thing here.
Yeah.
We're being memed.
Yeah. You know the way to my heart. It's through Statham. The beautiful, beautiful man known as Jason Statham.
What if
all right.
what if Terrence Malick one day cast
forget
Jason
it, dude.
Statham?
Don't even whisper it, dude. Don't even fucking whisper it, dude. 'Cause I'm on board, dude. That's all you had to say. I'll try to fund it. I'll try to get people to fund it. I'll go out there, start a GoFundMe. I'll make it happen, dude. Statham and fucking Terrence Malick. Whew, forget about it, dude. Statham touching wheat fields. Damn it. Beautiful. Fuck you, mate. Look at these beautiful wheat fields.
Beautiful cinematography.
Yeah. Dropping the C word left and right. All right. So the show, well, goddamn, we're not even like 5 minutes into the show and we've already derailed it. So
27 minutes have elapsed.
Yeah. So we have a scene with Deanna Troi, and she's really happy. This gives me some weird vibes, like, oh man, like she's kind of like into the captain, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Not really, but
Maybe she's feeding off of his energy of
Yes.
being excited about horses.
he's wistful. I just like that word.
You know, they mention a Betazoid kitten. What the heck is that?
It's just a cat that's on Beta Z. That's it.
Yeah. Like, are we to infer that there's a Betazoid variant of most Earth species that just has telepathy powers?
She's just basically, it's like a Korean.
Or she's just
being
talking
like,
out of her ass.
oh, there's a Korean cat here. And you're like,
Yeah.
it's just a cat, dude.
A cat that lives there, yeah. Like if a dog, if you go to Mexico, you're like, oh, there's a Mexican dog because you're in Mexico and there's a dog. there.
yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, man, sometimes they sound a little different.
Yeah. Like the Taco Bell one that he says you care about Taco Bell. So god damn it, Taco Bell sponsor us, dude. And so you have the captain, and he goes to the holodeck, and he has all these special requests, like, oh, I want this steed. It must be beautiful. It must be all white.
They really did take a long time
yeah.
to like really narrow down. Like, I want a horse.
Yeah,
I just want a
Arabian
fucking
horse.
Earth horse,
Arabian
man.
horse, Earth Arabian horse. I want to manually control it. I don't want none of that fucking AI shit.
I don't want it to have automatic transmission on this horse.
I don't want one of those robot fucking horses that you always.
I
give us.
demand a 1 horsepower horse.
Yeah.
An original normal horse.
I demand a duel against a horse. So he goes in there, and it's a beautiful field. You know what it looks like? It looks like Paramount Ranch, the one that burned down a couple of years ago. And they go, and he's gonna ride the horse, and Deanna Troi is coming with him, but she just wants to watch him. He's like, Captain, you're so
Yeah,
majestic.
it's a little. I don't know why she's tagging along if she's not gonna want to ride the horse.
It is odd.
Yeah. You know what's so crazy is that. Is it me? Am I crazy? But as the episodes go on, I feel like Deanna Troi's getting younger. Are they putting more makeup on her or something? She just looks really young.
I don't know.
Or maybe they were making look older in the earlier episodes because they're like, now they're like, oh, we can make her look her age.
Maybe she's just getting rest.
Maybe.
I mean, if you compare her outfit to what she was wearing like the first episode with that weird mini skirt uniform.
Yeah, the go-go dancer outfit. Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Okay, so she's talking to Picard's like, you probably love pets. Why don't you have a pet, you know? And they're making small talk, and she's like, I had a cat, but it was a bitch ass cat, so I killed it. They're just talking about how
she did not say that.
No, she didn't.
Her
So basically
mom
she's
just
saying,
didn't like cats.
well, also since she's a Betazoid, she has a weird relationship with pets because she knows what they feel like, and it's like it's gotta be weird though. I was just thinking about that while I was watching the episode, like that you if you're feeling the feelings of the animal, then you're feeling all kinds of stuff. Like if the animal feels trapped inside, you know, like it's got to be really, really interesting.
It probably helps you care for a pet way easier.
Yeah.
You know, like my cats yell at me constantly. I'm like, what do you want? I don't know what you want. Do you want pets? Okay, it's pets. You want a snack?
What would
You
be
want a snack?
preferable? The empathic ability to feel what your pets are feeling, or to simply have a translator that tells you what they're saying or thinking at least.
I'd go with the empathy because I think in general, empathy. This is getting philosophical now, but I think
Oh,
just having empathy with as many different people as possible, just in general, makes you a wholer person. So I feel like if that did happen, but with cats or whatever your pets are, I think that would make you just have a better understanding of, oh, okay, I understand this point of view better, more, blah, blah, blah. Like there's a joke in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The most powerful weapon in the world is the empathy gun, because whoever you shoot with it knows exactly how you feel, and I think there's a lot of merit in that statement, but I don't know.
My theory on empathy, which is slightly tangential, but since you've brought up empathy as a topic, I like to say there are two ways to gain empathy: experience and imagination. And art is a great bridge between the two.
That's true. Absolutely true.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Well, all that to say, I brought it up because I wanted to mention this comic I once saw that was really great. I'm sorry I don't remember the artist, but it was this like a couple. It's like, now we know, like, now that we put this call in his dog or whatever, like now we can understand what he's saying. And then the dog is like really excited. Oh, like, I want the food that you guys are eating at the table. And it's like, no, we don't want you to have it. And the dog just goes, what?
That's true. The dog will be like, what?
Yeah, he can't understand why that he's a second-class citizen to them.
All the dogs then starts learning. It's like, wait a minute. I've never been equal to you. Exactly. Oh no!
See, that's a horrible new conundrum that comes.
Dog revolution rises.
Exactly. That's how it starts.
Yeah.
Anyway,
rise of the planet of the dogs.
Yes, you got a bunch of fucking Plutos running around.
No, they will have ascended to Goofies.
Yeah, I guess you're right, but they're still idiots. So he's like settling the horse, and it's taking forever. And finally, I don't know why he couldn't just tell the holodeck, like, it's settling the horse takes forever. Just do it for me. But I guess it's part of the experience, and he's about to take the horse out for what is it? A spin, a gallop, whatever he's doing,
a ride,
a trot.
Yeah. But old fucking Riker calls him, and he's like, we need you at the bridge. And which is weird, because what if this was an emergency? Like, would he have shown up to the bridge wearing this getup?
Yeah, he's done that before.
I guess so.
Yeah. He showed up to the bridge in his fencing outfit before.
That's true.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So he gets to the bridge, and basically they've gotten to the planet, and it's really it's basically on fire. It's all lava. It's all fire.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
Yeah. It's nasty.
And basically, Riker says a couple weeks ago it was fine. It was a perfectly thriving planet, and look at it now. So any other planets that are similar to that have a lot of earthquakes are probably going to meet the same fate, which is to blow up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's interesting because we don't know that these people have. So they don't have like warp technology, right? That's the big thing about this Prime Directive thing, is like they don't have knowledge of. They're dumbskis.
It's not made 100% clear what the boundaries of Prime Directive are, but I think
the term pre-warp is bandied about sometimes.
Yeah, and I think it's like considered like a benchmark. If you have warp technology, you're definitely no longer bound by Prime Directive. Yeah, I think that's how it works.
They're like, look, if they haven't gotten the fucking the Notorious B.I.G.'s album, wherever we can't help them. If they're that far behind,
they haven't reached hip hop yet.
Yeah, they haven't reached hip hop. We're out. We're out. You can't make contact. So anyway, then they all meet at the bridge, and I thought like this meeting is going to be to talk about this goddamn problem with these planets exploding, but no, it's a completely different thing. And I was like, what the fuck? That came out of nowhere. So the captain shows up to the meeting, and he's like, I'm not the host of this Zoom meeting. It's Riker. And Riker's basically like, hey, as you guys know, I've been tasked with with Wesley's education.
I wish he would just like give a side eye to Picard as he does that.
Yeah. If you know what I mean. Because there's no guardian here.
Yeah.
And then he just slowly looks at him.
And he just turns to Picard.
Yeah.
And the camera slowly pans over to Picard. Yeah. And Picard's just standing there.
Yeah.
Nervously.
Not knowing what he's talking about. He's like,
no, with Picard like holding out his hands like, what?
Yeah. What? So he basically says like, hey, I basically called this meeting here. I know it could have been an email, but I called it anyway. You think everybody in the ship is like, this could have been a fucking email, or we have fucking video phones. Just video call us. We don't need to fucking see each other at all. So anyway, he says like, hey, I want to give him more responsibility, and I want him to be in charge of a team that surveys the minerals in the planet, basically, and to see what's happening, And they have an interesting conversation about coming of age. This is the part that I like. Everything else is bullshit from this episode, dude.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, dude. I said it, dude. I said it. Believe that, dude.
All right.
Pulaski and Deanna Troi have this interesting conversation where they're talking about coming of age and the responsibility about shaping teenagers basically into adults. And Deanna Troi has a great comment about that, which is everybody's experience is different, so you can't really guide them to adulthood. You just have to give them basically like a good chance, and and they'll be like, oh, go to the world. So they have this interesting conversation that I really, really dig. And it gets them talking, and it's really cool to see them talking about Wesley and his, I wish they would talk about his deadbeat mom, but they don't do it here.
They should be like, because someone isn't here.
Yeah.
We're taking care of Wesley.
One of his guardians. By the way, did you guys know that Sarjenka, the girl in the show, is played by Nikki Cox?
Oh,
really? Yeah.
Oh,
Nikki Cox.
It's like a really young Nikki Cox.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. From Baywatch and Unhappily Ever After, and Terminator. Yeah.
Huh, man.
Oh yeah. Now that I see a picture, because I haven't thought about Nikki Cox in a very long time. It's like, oh yeah, that totally looks like her.
The only reason I remember is because I'm watching the thing in the background, and I'm like, oh yeah, that it was Nikki Cox, because her name came up in the credits. So anyway, so basically, let me get this straight. Now it's time for me to ask questions.
Okay.
So an ensign is somebody that's basically an apprentice.
An ensign is basically the very first step of an officer.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like you just graduated Starfleet or something like that, and like you just became an officer, and you're starting at the bottom of the ladder. In terms of overall, it's different from like engineers because it's about being an officer, and then the reason Wesley is an acting ensign as given by Picard. So he's not truly an ensign, but on board the Enterprise, he gets to function as an ensign.
Well, that's fucked up, dude.
It is.
It kind of is, yeah.
It is part of the stupid favoritism Wesley is given a lot in the show.
It's white privilege, dude.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
But all the other characters ensigns are white.
That's true. But okay.
It's Wesley privilege.
Yeah.
Wesley has special privileges for as
because he's Gene Roddenberry, essentially.
White privilege, dude. Okay. So you have this conversation about letting him do this thing, and Pulaski is like, well, you may put too much pressure on him, and then he might not perform. It's a big responsibility. And then so half the people kind of agree, and half the people are like, yeah, it's a great opportunity. So I don't know where I fall. Talking this out with you guys makes me realize that that he has a lot of privilege. Like the other people on his team are more experienced and look like they're college age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so they actually graduated from Starfleet. They went through the rigorous training to understand what Starfleet should be like.
And now this little bitch is going to tell me what to do? Fuck that, dude. I would have stabbed him, dude.
So I like the premise of Wesley growing as a character, but what I think should have happened is that he was chosen to be a member of this team.
That would make a lot more sense.
Why is he the leader?
Yeah,
I don't understand that. Like, especially because his specialty is warp engines, right? Working in engineering.
Yeah,
it's not.
Supposedly.
Yeah, so it's really odd to me.
He's just big smart boy.
Yeah, so it's odd to me that he would then lead a science team for like geology, basically. Which doesn't seem to, which is not really his expertise, as far as I understand it. So I just thought it was strange.
Like everything becomes his expertise if he starts talking about it. Like as far as the show is concerned, like they said warp engines at first, but basically anything that he
the only
spends
other,
any amount of time studying. Quote.
The only other thing if they did want to make him the leader, I wish they just created some sort of scenario where he had to be the leader.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense. But in this case, everyone just said, let's just give Wesley a chance so that he can be the leader. But that's so unfair to the other ensigns who.
Yeah,
that is unfair to the other ensigns. But I mean, I do agree with Ricardo in that I do enjoy the conversation that comes about because they're having to deal with this
the
scenario.
setup creates good scenarios. Like this is an episode where Wesley is actually pretty decent as a character, I think. Because of the way he's written for this. Like, he's not a child. Like, there's like the last.
No, and his reservations about being given this command are completely understandable given what we are talking about right now.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, he is, like, in a position of immense privilege. He doesn't explicitly say it, but, I mean, you can read that far into it and say, like, yeah, who the fuck is this guy to say, to give orders to anybody? Yeah. And he keeps on questioning that about himself. And the only thing that's kind of weird is that everyone's saying, no, man, you're good. You got this. Like, you deserve this.
They're pushing him a lot, which is like, it feels...
It's like you have nothing to prove. You earned this position. Like, they're basically saying that to him. But
I don't like that.
That doesn't seem quite right.
I hate it. So then they're like, basically like, okay, we're going to give him a chance. And it's like, yeah, but he didn't go to college and this isn't his field. And like, there's all these things you guys mentioned that make so much sense. Like this, it's totally privilege, total privilege. And so they're like basically fast tracking him to be an officer. Right.
Yeah.
Which is fucked, dude. That's really fucked, man. Just cause Riker decides so, you know, fucking bitch ass fool.
It's all because of the fucking traveler. The traveler.
I know.
You know, his mom's the director of Starfleet Medical.
Yeah, he's got so many advantages. Like he's buddy with the captain, and like how many ensigns on this ship get to like walk up to the captain and ask him for advice? You know?
Yeah. How many ensigns in this ship come from the captain's sperm? How many? How many, dude? How many? Dan?
20.
I don't know.
A lot, dude.
He's following half the ship.
So they call Wesley to the conference room, or what? I don't even know what this is called. This is called like the viewing room, which is weird because it's like this is. I think
they do call it the conference room.
Like
literally, it's called the conference room.
It's called the observation lounge.
That's what it is,
actually, which is really which is I mean, it's also called the conference lounge as well. But like the observation lounge is like apparently the official term. I'm not sure why. It might just be because there's a lot of windows.
I mean, there are a lot of people looking out those windows all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Pondering.
Like if there's one person in there, they are guaranteed to be staring out the window as someone comes into the door.
Time.
Yeah. You're right. So they're like, hey, we're going to give you this chance that no one else has because you're white and you have all these stuff. So we're going to give you this thing. You're going to go do the survey and you're going to be in charge. And this stuff, this and that. And it's like, the more I think about it, the more I hate what comes next because he's a bitch. But anyway, he gets to lead the team. Mm-hmm. And then you have what becomes, I guess, a storyline, which is Data's conundrum, which is Data. First of all, he's on his own time doing this thing. He sets up this scanner that scans for weird frequencies and like he did like filters things. He's just basically like
Data's doing something that Wesley would have been doing.
Yeah. Which is trying to get porn, and then he accidentally stumbles upon a signal. That's exactly how it happens.
Yeah, and he's basically scanning the CB radio.
Yeah,
and being like, oh shit!
And Worf is not happy because there's fucking parts everywhere, and he's like, oh fuck it.
Yeah,
damn fucking Data.
I mean, you can totally imagine Wesley being like, I've been messing with this thing and I'm trying to increase the signal output and blah blah blah. And Worf's like, there's fucking
that's true.
Yeah.
Like, this is just the Wesley setup.
I mean, a mating scream.
Apparently, in the writing room, most people actually said they wanted that part to be for Wesley. So that could be why it's like that. But it was actually Melinda Snodgrass who worked really hard to make it to be for Data.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I think.
Well, I mean, she if she wrote Measure of a Man first, then she would be quite the champion for Data.
That's true. Yeah, she really loves working with Data.
Yeah, she loves Data.
Data's a bitch. I got him, dude. Roasted.
What?
I don't know, dude. I'm being silly today. I'm in a silly fucking state right now. And then so Data's doing some tinkering, and then the next scene you have Wesley trying to talk to. You know what? This episode has Riker in very high spirits. Like he's just happy, and I think because he's getting laid. I mean, I know for a fact he does because we see it later. So he talks to both Riker and Deanna Troi, and he talks about just kind of like how they deal with like having people under them and how far you push people and how basically how do you deal with people that could be smarter or older than you and you have privilege so you're above them. and how do you deal with like he even asked like how do you deal with conflicts? And he's like, Wesley, you fucking bitch. These people are professionals. You think they're kids, dude, that are arguing over stupid shit, dude? You're a piece of shit, Wesley. That's what I wanted him to say, but he doesn't. He's like, oh, you'll figure it out. Don't worry. That's part of the job. And again, very, very cool. He's very cool in this episode and very in high spirits. And then Deanna Troi and him disappear. Where do they disappear to? I don't know. But he's in a good mood after and before this. I suspect
well, that's an interesting
here.
detail to note because we see Riker with someone else later in the episode.
Yeah, maybe he's just he's got some. Maybe he just lit some like fucking little incense, some essential oils were in the air, and he just got all horned up. And he's like Deanna, we're near those exploding planets, and there's something exploding in my pants. And she's like, all right. It's.
I do think probably like Deanna and Riker probably are just fuck buddies. I mean,
yeah, occasionally hook up.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like because there is that the Teabag episode. She says, "Oh, I see. Humans have trouble separating physical love from emotional love."
Yeah,
it's true. It's true. She did say that.
Probably Riker is her side piece. You know what I mean? I see that's how it rolls. Like he doesn't ask her like, hey, do you want to hook up? She's the one that goes, hey, kind of in the mood, you know, a little bit. And then he's like, okay.
I'm a little
that's why he's in a good mood.
Riker's like, I'm always in the mood. Let's go.
Yeah.
I've been watching these heart ladies for hours.
Those heart ladies.
Maybe they're in a competitive open relationship.
Okay.
I like the idea of it being that's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just like Seinfeld. Yeah, I get it. So anyway, Wesley goes to see this guy that he's got Bunsen burners and he's burning rocks and he looks like a smart dude, man.
He looks like evil Peter. Like he looks like the brother of evil Peter Parker.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I could see that. I totally see that. He it's probably Tobey Maguire's dad. And so Tobey Maguire's dad is like, "Hey, what's up, dude? It sounds good."
Instantly, he's Toby.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey," Wesley's like, "I want you on my team. I'm doing this survey thing," and he's like, "Dude, I'm in, dude. Peter Parker Sr. is in." And he's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna put you in. He's like, who else is on the team? And then he says, oh, this dude and this chick, and I got a Prius and a Toyota and like blah blah. and then he's like, oh, that's a shame you didn't talk to me first. And he's starting this. I hate this. It's like, motherfucker, if I wanted your opinion, I would came and asked for it, you bitch.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
He's already pretty snotty.
Yeah, he's trying to backseat drive this thing.
Yeah. I had one of these incidences, and I'm like, yeah, well, you don't know what you're talking about. And then they just shut up. So,
just say that straight.
I just got to say it with a straight face and no question to you, especially if they think you might be able to backhand them. So this guy says, and he says something really weird, which is like, oh, I like to break up. He says it like meaning like I like to break up teams of couples, like.
Yeah.
And I get it, like, oh, I like to break. I don't want them to be together on my team or in a team because they might be too like into each other to do their job. Mm-hmm. And I get it, but part of me reads it as like, oh, I like it when there's married couples because I like to split them up. I like to seduce one of them. I don't care who it is. I'll seduce one of them. And I kind of like this guy.
It's a career home wrecker.
Yeah. He's like, I've successfully broken up 35
look
couples.
at that seductive hairstyle.
Yeah. This guy definitely fucks, dude. Plus, I mean, Peter Parker came out of him.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's like, okay, you're on my team. And then the other storyline is that Data makes contact using these weird waves with this little girl. Mm-hmm. Which is weird, dude. This could have been like a Predator type thing, dude. Where Data accidentally becomes a predator.
And then Chris Hanson tells him to sit down, take a seat over there.
Yeah. Well, if all the Star Trek episodes had It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia titles, this would be Data accidentally becomes a pedophile. Or a sex offender. Which is
Data gets registered in the sex offenders list.
Yeah. Because think about it, dude. He makes contact with this little girl, and he basically she tells him everything.
Yeah,
and then he goes to her house, dude. He
That's
goes to her house. Oh, wait, dude. He kidnaps her.
That's true.
We don't know if she's lying. We don't know if Data even knows. We don't know if he heard. What if her family are like, oh no, we're lava people. We love to go vacation in the lava and we swim in it.
Yeah.
And when the whole planet becomes lava, we love it, dude. It happens. It lasts for fucking 100 years, and then it goes away. It's fun. It's called the 100-year vacation. And then this girl's making up stories about like, oh, I'm gonna die. I'm
one of the few
Dita.
people who don't like lava.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My name is Luca, and I don't want to be in the water.
Find me on the second floor.
Yeah. And so he goes and he steals her. And then he fucking returns her. This guy's he crossed the line.
With a weird stone.
Yeah.
We don't know what that stone's going to do.
After wiping her memory.
It's so sinister in this context.
It's kidnapping, it's drugging,
Yeah. He drugs her, dude. And he mentally fucks with her, dude. Straight up, dude. This is
like directly.
I mean, there should have been a bunch of like agents tackling Data as he was transporting away.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones of that is like a cop running behind the guy, and they don't tackle him; they just smack him on the back of the head as hard as they can, and he falls over and face plants.
Wait, is that the guy who says "yeah" at the end?
I just remembered seeing, because in college, for whatever reason, we were watching this show a lot.
Yeah, To Catch a Predator was a popular program
in the dorm, in the common room,
the suite.
Yeah, for whatever reason, and then that was the funniest one where the cop, like, he looked like he was having fun.
Like many people in the suite just referred to it as the tackle show.
Yeah.
Because that's what everyone was waiting for. Everyone to tackle the guy.
Yeah, because like every time he'd be like, "You're free to go," and they're like, "No, he's not. He's not." Does he not realize he's actually not free to go?
Oh God. In conclusion, we live in a society.
Yes.
Anyway, we kind of got derailed and skipped ahead a little bit. Where were we?
Yeah, okay.
So the timeline of the episode.
Let's Tarantino it. We'll back it up, dude. Back it up. So he's talking to this girl. He finds her like messages, and he starts talking to her. And basically, she's like, "Hey, I'm scared. My planet's gonna explode. You want to hang out with me?" And and then Wesley's storyline. Well, this is a storyline that I want to concentrate on because the other Prime Directive thing, we don't know what Prime Directives are.
Oh, okay. You know what? I
We're
know
flying
that
by
I
the
just
seat of our pants.
I'm sorry, Ricardo. I know that I just kind of tossed the ball back over to you, but I want to take it for just a second to explain my magic xylophone problem with this episode's timeline.
Okay.
I have an issue with this episode's timeline, or the order of events.
Oh.
So, Data makes first contact with Sarjenka. She says, is anyone out there? Whatever it is. Then there's a commercial break, right?
Mm-hmm.
They come back. And then Wes is outside, that door, preparing to address his assembled team for the first time. They established it's the first time he's meeting them. And then after that, the captain's log establishes that 6 weeks have elapsed since they entered the star system. So does that mean Wesley experiences his first struggles with command 6 weeks in?
I think that's just...
Or did 6 weeks elapse since Data's first contact and Wes took 6 weeks to assemble his team?
I think what it's supposed to be is that, okay, so Data contacts girl, right? Cut to commercial, cut to Wesley. Wesley is meeting team, and then 8 weeks pass.
Okay, so then there's a 6 week skip there. Let's say that's when the 6 weeks elapse.
Yeah.
The captain log says 6 weeks, and then Data later says to Picard, "I've been talking to Sarjenka for 8 weeks." After which Wesley finally gets advice from Riker about his authority dilemma. So 2 more weeks pass by while he's just kind of mulling around with his authority problem, and then he talks to Riker.
That's possible. It is possible that he's been angry about this spectrogram thing for 2 weeks. It's possible.
That sounds insane to me.
That might explain why when he comes back to Davies and he's like, "Can you do the spectrogram?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, sure." He just does it.
Forgot the conversation prior.
Yeah.
Like he acts like there was no other conversation prior to that.
Yeah. We skipped ahead a little bit, but that's basically the issue with Wesley's thing. There is that meets
I have a theory.
team. Oh, go ahead.
So he went and the guy goes, "Oh, it would take forever. It'd take hours." And then Wesley went for 2 weeks to think about it. And then the guy was like, "Oh, maybe we should run it. I'll run it like an hour a day for like." And then he ran it like half an hour a day for 2 weeks.
Oh, he was doing it,
and he already did it. And he's like, he comes in, and he's like, "Hey, would you do this thing?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna log the hours like I didn't do it, but I've done this move."
That's you know what? That's super relatable, and you know what? That could be what he did. Maybe
that's relatable for y'all.
Because maybe he was like, oh man, maybe we really should do a spectrogram.
Yep.
Just in case he asks me, I'm just gonna do it. But
if he asks me, I'll pretend I'm gonna do it and just burn hours doing nothing.
Oh man, ooh, double dipping on those hours. It's good.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and he's like, it didn't even take so long because I left it running overnight, and then I didn't
exactly. The computer did all the work. Yeah.
I mean, given what they're doing, like given for them, it really should just be a computer doing all the work.
Yeah, what is this setup?
Like a spectrogram
turn the
thing.
Computer on?
Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, like how would it not be a device just doing what it was designed to do?
Yeah, it's the setup computer. Set up an ICO spectrogram.
And then the computer says, no data found in the file, and you say speculate.
Oh yes,
and then it just invents it for you.
Very good.
Show's so dumb.
This show's fucking stupid.
So let's do it, Wesley.
Every so often, I just need to say it. This show's great, but it's also really dumb.
Yeah, that's the essence of Star Trek.
I know. It's great. It's lovable.
Yeah.
So Wesley, he has the dilemma, and he's like, how do I like basically like, how do I assert my authority? And they're in there because they're waiting for him to assemble his team, right, for the first time.
Right.
And I like this scene because you get to see Pulaski talking to him. You don't really see that a lot, like just one-on-one with them.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that she kind of has like, not only is she a good doctor, but she's also a better mother than fucking Beverly ever fucking was, dude. Goddamn bitch. Because she gives him not only like work advice, but also it's kind of in a loving way. Like it's a very like motherly scene kind of thing.
She's also not condescending to him either. Exactly. She's kind of just being like, "You're gonna be fine. You'll be." Okay.
She also talks straight because she says like, very judiciously, like, you have the authority, but you're gonna have to hold on to it.
Yeah,
like it's this. You're not just gonna. This isn't just gonna be easy for you. Like, you're gonna have to put in some effort here. Like, Wes.
Yeah. She's all look, Wesley. Let me tell you a story. How many times do you think I've fucked Riker's dad? He's like, where's this going?
What?
He's like, how many times do you think I've told him? No? He's like, do with that information what you will. Proceed.
And she walks away, and you're like, what?
You're like, oh, that's great, dude. All right. So she gives him good advice, and I do like that scene. And then the next scene we have is him asking for the fucking Ike Turner exam that he needs to run. And they don't want to, and they're like, Wesley, that would take forever. And then the other girl is like, yeah, that would take hours. That would like at least 5 hours. And I suspect that not only did they do what we said they did, but they overestimated the hours.
Oh yeah, you always pad out how long it's gonna. You put in some buffer.
Yeah,
to like,
you're like, oh, that's definitely like a fucking 5 hour.
Don't be done till end of day. You
Yeah.
can't really
look. I'm gonna just work through like half hour of lunch, and then I'm gonna get this to you.
And honestly, you buffer it for good reason, like because if it does go wrong, then they don't go, well, why isn't it done yet? Because it's hard to explain when something goes wrong. You can just fix it while it's happening, and you'd be like, oh, it was fine. It was end of day. It turns out. So
yeah.
And that's prudence. Just being prudent. That's all.
Yeah. By the way, the lady that plays the second scientist, the girl who's like, oh, that would take like 5 hours, dude. Calm down. She's Anne Gillespie, and she played I think it's Tori's mom in Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Tori
Jackie Taylor.
Lori? Yeah, she played Jenny Garth's mother. Kelly Taylor's mom. Yeah.
Okay.
In Beverly Hills 90210. So when I saw her, I was like, this girl looks so familiar. Where is she from?
She does.
Yeah. Everybody here, it's funny because like every day player on this show is somebody who you've seen in
Oh yeah, these are all
definitely.
working actors who honestly they're probably just around, and then
but I mean, I feel like maybe I don't watch enough TV now, but like I don't. Even the last 15 years, I don't see that often. Where you're like, oh, that was this person. You see that less often.
I think TV has become a more a wider world where things are less interconnected now because of streaming.
You're right.
I think now you get actors who are like, oh, they do a lot of Netflix stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
They're kind of like Netflixy actors.
Yeah.
Or oh, they're on a lot of Hulu things. That tends to happen more now.
Yeah. I also think that production in general has become a little decentralized.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not like all in LA anymore.
That's a big part of it as well, is that not all of it is being shot in LA. The vast majority of it now is not being shot in LA. So
it's all in Canada and fucking
Canada and Georgia and South Carolina and stuff like that.
The finger thing means the taxes.
Oh, and then so you do see Picard riding the horse. I forgot about that. But you know what? It's everyone watch it. Everyone watch the scene. I don't think it's him.
It's not?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think it's him.
Hang on.
Yeah, I've watched it 3 times. I don't think it's him.
Even when he's approached on the horse?
Maybe, but in the wide shot, it's not him.
Well, he's clearly on the horse in a shot.
Yeah, but this shot is not him. This man has a bunch of hair. A bunch of curly hair.
Okay.
Anyway, so and then in the close up, it's him because see in the close up he's got short hair buzzed on the side.
That's true. Yeah, this guy has way too much hair.
Yeah, this guy
he's way paunchier.
Yeah. So anyway, he finds Data finds Picard.
No, but there's a shot of Picard approaching Data on the horse, and he's definitely on the horse.
I know. I'm not questioning that shot, but the wide shot is not him.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So he Patrick Stewart can ride a horse. Confirmed though.
Yeah.
You can ride a horse at least a few yards.
Yeah. And so basically he says he tells Picard what happened. He's like, hey, I found a message and then I responded to the message. The message was, is there anybody out there? And I responded to it, and it turns out it's a little girl and this planet's going to explode and blah, blah. And that's when the conundrum happens, which is the Prime Directive bullshit. Fucking stupid shit.
See, this is the episode that I was saying a while back. I was like, there's actually a good Prime Directive episode coming up. And I was talking about this one.
Yeah, you lied to us, dude.
I'm not gonna file in directly behind Ricardo about this. I do think that at least thus far, it probably is my favorite Prime Directive centered episode.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nuance to it. I think there's discussion to be had. I'm not even sure how I feel about everything as a whole just yet.
I think the main reason why it's a good Prime Directive episode is because there's that meeting later where everyone is in Picard's
where they
room.
actually try to discuss, the merits of the Prime Directive, as an establishment.
And I really like the characters. So it's not a coincidence that both Geordi and Pulaski are on Data's side, and they're both trying to fight for his cause, and everyone else is kind of not. I like the character work happening there. I like that there's a discussion on what the merits and nuances of the Prime Directive should be. Other episodes of Prime Directive, there's been very little discussion on what the fuck it actually is.
Yeah.
Like this episode actually bothered to like go into it and go.
It's Optimus Prime. He shows up. He's like the Prime directive, and he's like, roll out.
That is a directive.
Yeah, it's a very simple directive.
Yeah, the prime directive is to roll out. It's an if-then statement. If you are an Autobot, then roll out.
Yeah, dude. I think they should combine the universes, dude. What if they're out there and they find the Autobots?
I'm almost certain there's a Transformers meets Star Trek comic out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of the.
If not that, there's fan fiction.
Isn't it? What's the planet called? The
Cybertron?
I'm sure Cybertron's just there as a planet somewhere in Star Trek.
Yeah. If anybody finds some Star Trek versus Predator, like literature.
There is literally a comic book called Star Trek versus Transformers.
There you go.
No way.
Now looks like a Predator. No, that hasn't happened yet.
I'm gonna lobby for Quentin Tarantino to do that.
Write that comic, Ricardo.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Where Picard says, "If it bleeds, we can kill it." If it bleeds,
that'd be so sick.
Yeah.
Like Picard's forced to like.
Yeah.
Become like just failed.
Riker's like, Captain, I don't think we could beat this thing. It's already taken out Data.
Oh.
Worf.
Oh man, the crazy part about the
Geordi.
Star Trek versus Transformers thing is apparently it's very well regarded.
Nice.
Geordi tried to fight it with his Predator vision, but
I feel like comics are the only
strong.
place where like such stupid ass crossovers can happen and be good.
Yeah, because they're allowed to do what they want.
Yeah, basically.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah.
All right.
Number one.
He's I'm gonna need some rope and take my shirt. Number one. Picard takes off his shirt and he starts making a deadfall trap without a shirt on. Anyway, so then we have another stupid scene with Wesley asking for advice because I don't know what to do. Oh, Riker, please help me.
And in 10 forward?
Yeah, 10 forward. And so 10 fucking Riker's hanging out with his lady dude. And clearly he's getting her liquored up, dude. Because he just hooked up with Deanna Troi. He's in the mood. He's in the mood for love.
Yeah. He gives her a tender kiss on the forehead.
Yeah, dude. And then fucking Wesley
does
comes
he?
in and he
Yeah. As he's passing by, he gives her a drink and he gives her a tender kiss on the forehead.
Yeah,
oh, shit. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
More on the hair, really. It's kind of a kiss on her bouffant hair.
But this is really cool. I do dig this part where Wesley comes in all like bothered, and it's funny because there's a guy in front of Riker, and I wish so. Okay, I'm gonna try to explain it for the listeners. Wesley comes in, and he immediately the shot is on him, and he points to the left, like meet me here, meet me there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then they pan over, and it's Riker. And he's waiting for the drinks that he just ordered. And next to him is a random guy who's also looking at Wesley. I really wanted that random guy to go, "Are you talking to me? Are you talking? Should I go?"
Yeah. And then he's like, "No." There's a random scene where there's confusion.
Not you. Forget it, dude.
Yeah, like the random guy also has the goofiest like smile on his face.
Yeah, dude.
He looks like some 50s diner guy that got stuck in the future, and he's like, "Gee, what golly whiz, what a crazy place this is."
Yeah. It looks like somebody Shia LaBeouf and Indiana Jones would fight in a diner.
Oh, yeah, in that diner scene.
Yeah.
There you go.
So anyway, and I like how Riker is like he doesn't really give him like a. He's about to give him like a, "Oh boy, you're cock blocking," but he's like, "I'll see you." Like he kind of like it's a very like, okay, I'll deal with you, and then I'll deal with my lady problems, you know?
Yeah.
But then when he tells the lady is what's so telling, and I really love how he says family emergency.
That is awesome. That's what I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
That he considers Wesley his family, like because his deadbeat dad and his deadbeat mom aren't around, so he's got to be a dad. I like Riker a lot. I guess he's our Captain Kirk. You said right before. You said this before.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the captain. He was the backup. If the show was going poorly, they were going to fire Picard and have Riker take over. Basically,
fire him or kill him.
Or kill him off. Yeah, basically.
How badass would it be in the first season? Midway
that
through
would
the
be
season,
kind of badass, right?
Dude.
Like that'd be like really shocking, you know.
Yeah.
But you know,
And
but
then Picard shows up in a
That's how-
really white Enterprise like a season later. So
everyone's
Yeah.
wearing white uniforms.
They should have done that for Picard.
we just came out of the Balrog system.
Yeah. That's what they should have done with Picard. Is Picard shows up in the first episode, he fucking gets shot, dude. Boom, he dies, and then Wesley takes on the mantle.
Oh, they
As
send in
Wesley
Will
Picard.
Wheaton now.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, and he's got the beard, and he's like, "You were my father, but my real father was Riker because he raised me, not like you deadbeat bitch." And he spits on fucking Picard's body. Man, I gotta start writing some of this fan.
Now here's the twist that will save Star Trek. You ready?
Yeah.
Picard. I'm sure this has already been an actual theory people have put forth. Picard is actually Wesley old.
Oh.
And it's been him all this time.
No, that's given the history, that actually doesn't work at all.
Don't worry. Just slingshot around the sun a few times. It'll work. Then
Yeah,
travel over then pass over that vortex a couple times.
It mixes
Something
their
will work.
histories together.
It's like,
Dude.
I've been out of phase for 83 years, Wesley, aka
Picard.
myself.
Picard has a clone, and it's Wesley, and then Wesley grows up, and it's Tom Hardy.
Oh, there you
Oh
go.
my god, we figured it out.
And
dude.
if you toss in some goatees, it almost doesn't matter who's what.
yeah, call him Ra's al Ghul.
Someone's evil.
Well, you say Tom Hardy, but
Yeah.
he is
I know.
literally a clone monster.
Yeah.
So okay. I thought you brought up.
I've seen the audition tape, which is very intense. So
Oh,
I know
yeah,
he was in
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Tom Hardy's a badass, guys. I
Tom
love
Hardy is an incredible actor.
Mhm.
If when he's given he's a little
He's
weird.
an incredible
in Venom.
actor who manages to say the fewest words.
Yeah. I think the only reason he's weird in Venom is because he has no direction. So he's just being
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'll just do what I need to do.
Yeah, and also like the thing about him in Venom is that like Tom Hardy's really good at knowing what movie he's in, which a lot of actors don't.
Yeah, he's aware
Like-
that this is going to be schlock. I think he
tone.
knew that
He
right
knows
away.
Tone. He
Yeah,
gets tone
yeah.
really right away.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
true.
let me look around me. Okay, I could play it up. I could ham it up.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
he doesn't do that in other movies. He just hams it up on Venom because he knows he can.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like even in like Mad Max, he was just like he hated being there. Apparently, on the set of Mad Max, but I think he still understood what he needed to do as a character. Works perfectly.
Yeah, and he knows he's the closest we can get to Steve McQueen, modern Steve McQueen. Because I think Steve McQueen did a lot of acting without any words. It was just like think about like I'm sorry we're going on this tangent, but I love fucking Tom Hardy. But like Tom Hardy in like Dunkirk, he's doing all his acting with the top of his nose and his eyes. That's
just looking,
and he's doing a great job of it.
Yeah.
So he's badass. I want him in more things. I want him in my Predator versus Star Trek movie. All right. So then Wesley asks, he basically asks Riker for advice about, he's like, hey, I told this guy to do something. He said no. He didn't say no, but he basically like gave me the runaround. And he's like, he basically says like, well, what did your gut tell you? And it's advice about whether you should follow your gut or not. And he basically says like, hey, you're not going to be right all the time. Sometimes
Don't
you're
be
gonna
afraid
give
to be
bad
wrong.
orders.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's gonna happen.
I'm always wrong, but I say it like I'm right, and I'm never wrong.
That's the secret.
Yeah.
It's also the secret to arguing. If you know how to argue, you're never wrong.
Yeah. It's also the secret
Sure.
to being a man. You can kind of just be like, oh no, that was how I was.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
that's how.
And then other people will be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You're like that's how I found the car. It was crashed. No, but you clearly have alcohol in your breath. No, that was I was washing my mouth with Listerine while I was driving.
Yeah. I had a
was,
lot of those pocket strips.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was really.
That's how
hungry
my
with
mouth was when I got here.
My sugar was really low, and so I had to.
Well,
There was a beer in the back. I don't want to go into the diabetic coma.
I needed carbs, man.
Yeah, I needed the carbs. All right. So then he basically gives him advice, and he leaves him with those words of wisdom, like, hey, don't let ego get in the way. Just do what your gut tells you. You're pretty smart. Blah blah blah.
And actually,
And-
the most important bit of that entire conversation, the best advice that he can give Wesley is what would Picard do?
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. He'd probably fuck somebody and then have a kid with them and then leave them and then never
That's
raise a
not bad
kid.
advice, like in general, man.
Yeah.
That's
If you
true.
just go by what Picard would do, like you're probably going to do at least an okay thing.
Yeah. All right. So then he goes, he has to like, he basically leaves. He's got to go. Oh, he gets called. He gets called through the little thing. And his next cell phone. And he's like, oh, I gotta go. He's like, but anyway, he's like, that's what command is all about. Like, just, you gotta, because he basically says, what if you make the wrong decision and people die? And he's like, well, that's what being in command is. You know?
Yeah.
So fuck you. Deal with it, dude. And then
fuck you, Wesley, and he walks away.
And then he walks over to his lady friend and he gives her a kiss, like on the side. It's not quite like the cheek, but it's like above her ear, kind of. It's very sensual, I think. And she turns around and she's like blushing, dude. And she turns around and she's like, oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh, that
She's
Riker.
so smitten.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't talk to her at all. Like put down a drink, talked to his kid, and then said, all right, baby, I gotta go.
I gotta go.
I gotta go see about a horse. And he's like, literally, there's a horse in the holodeck that I gotta go see. It's fucking shat everywhere. So anyway, Wesley goes back to the team and he's like, Ensign Davies, give me that report. And Davies is like, got it. I'm on it, dude. I'll see you in 5 hours. And he went and took a nap for 4 hours.
With your new insight, I can now understand his attitude. At first, I was like, why does he just roll the fuck over after giving so much resistance to the scene prior?
Yeah.
But you have given me a decent explanation as to why.
Right?
Yeah.
You work smart.
You make sure the door is closed.
Yeah.
And then takes
if you work if you work smart enough, you can look like you're working harder.
Yeah.
Work smarter, not harder. That's
why I always when I pick computers and when Marvin and I were working, I picked the last computer because it gives you time to figure out like how do I pretend to look busy.
I was actually always right near the computer, near the door. That's just how I rolled.
You want to take the brunt of the hit. I like that, dude. I like that. Actually, I mean, I worked. I fuck around a lot. Like, and I say like at work I fuck around a lot, but I got a lot of work done. I'm not a lazy person.
Listen.
I just want my listeners to know that.
Again, work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
That's the motto.
And always prayed up a ghoul. And so and so they have this meeting. The Riker's called to this meeting where they're talking about what they're going to do with this message. So basically what it comes down to, God, it's so difficult to talk about this dude. Basically, Data made contact with somebody they shouldn't have made contact with.
Mm-hmm.
And now they know that the planet's going to blow up. Unless Wesley could find a report on why it's going to blow up and find out a way to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a tall order for a goddamn kid.
Yeah. To save an entire species.
Yeah. You know how that little thing we gave you? Yeah. Well, we can't talk to them. We can't evacuate them. They're like, okay. I'm following you. But you could warn them to go to a different planet. Oh, sure. But they're going to die. If you don't figure out how to fix the planet, so you do it secretly.
Yeah. So
this is a very jumbled episode, and the farther it gets, and then like Data's so smart. Like, why would he make a stupid mistake like this? Like, he knows the prime directives. We've discussed the prime directives with Data before.
Yeah,
maybe it's precisely because the prime directive is so poorly defined that Data can't follow it correctly.
Yeah, I guess
it could be that, and I also think it's partly because Data is willing to sometimes do things that he out of curiosity, and also he thinks is correct. So he's not necessarily like a measure of a man. Like, he resisted getting his brain taken apart. The whole time.
Yeah, and they were also trying to show off like how he did show off human traits of like things that could be interpreted as vanity.
Right.
The effects that he saved for himself and all that stuff. Like, it was all there to show you like, hey, Data does like have these sorts of human traits too, if you look closely.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of about that, but I do think the writing does a trick in order to kind of obfuscate a lot of the steps to reach this point by having the 8-week skip. I think because they do that, the point where Data, that's one of the unfortunate things about the episode, is that you don't see why they're friends. You're just told 8 weeks later they are now friends, which is not good writing.
No, it's not.
You show it, don't tell it, right? And the central premise of this episode is based on a tell, not a show. So I think that's what makes the emotional stakes of it much weaker, because you never reached a point where you as the audience also care about this girl as much as Data essentially does. It's just more of a moral quandary versus an emotional quandary, but the episode wants it to be based in emotion, not just the morality of it. So I think it's a bit of a missed opportunity. I wonder if this is what was lost when they fiddled with the episode more.
And I think too that there's another aspect here. It's like, I think part of why they handle the situation the way they do is because this is Data we're talking about, and this is his friend. Like it isn't just the fact that there is a single entity hanging in the balance. Like this isn't all about one life. This is about Data's friend, and that actually carries extra weight in this conversation with this crew, because they're trying to acknowledge like the humanity of like or the weight, that the very real weight of human connections you establish with each other. Right,
which is like, and that does help establish some of the quandaries of Prime Directive. It's like, if she wasn't his friend,
they probably wouldn't have done this.
Yeah, they probably would just let the planet explode, So like, the morality of it's weird. I feel like
and it's arguable that like part of Picard's point is like, the reason why the Prime Directive exists is so that we don't get into this situation.
Yeah,
if we didn't make contact, then we wouldn't be emotionally affected. And now we're doing this. We're doing this now.
Yeah, which helps explain why the Prime Directive is useful better. That's one of the things I like about the episode. Like it helps establish, hey, there's a reason why we have the Prime Directive. This is why. Like it helps us avoid this
helps
quandary.
Corral our own fallible human emotions.
Yeah, we don't have to get caught up in the emotions of it. But it does leave something to be desired in terms of understanding the emotional weight of it. I think I just don't think that's there. It's all morality, very little emotional connection, which is problematic. But yeah,
that's kind of weird, because like, yeah, I understand what you mean by like a lack of emotional connection of the audience to Sarjenka and her situation, but the entire like argument being made by Data and everyone on his side is like, this is an emotional connection that we have, and we have to act because listen to her on the radio over there, see how scared hear how scared she is.
Yeah.
I think once you finish the episode and you see how like Data has this thing, and he's like, well, that's kind of a human characteristic, what he says at the end. You realize that like it's just pushing Data to be more human. That's what this whole fucking stupid episode is about.
Yeah.
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to switch over to the other side, which is Wesley's storyline, where they basically figure out, because of the test they ran, they figure out what's wrong with the planet and why they're blowing up. And they're like, and he basically says, can we find out how to reverse it? And Wesley's like, well, we probably can. And Picard's like, no, don't. This is a yes or no. And he's like, and then the girl, the Tori Spelling's mom is like, yeah, we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. We're gonna go study this. And so they go figure it out. And look, all in all, I get that. And this is a problem with privilege and like getting ideas like this. Like at the same time, if you're in a privileged position and you get chances to jump the line or do things that they're above your pay grade or above you, you also have to rise to the occasion. Because if you don't deliver, then they're like, well, we gave you a chance. And we took you to the top. We put you in front of the line, but you fucked up. So fuck you. Get back. So, I mean, he does a really good job at least doing the right thing and pushing this team in the right direction. And it shows that, it pains me to say this, but that Wesley's gut is kind of, he's got a good sense of what to do. and he probably could be. I don't know how far this series goes with Wesley, but it looks like he could be a good leader.
I mean that's what this episode is trying to set up for him.
Yeah,
is that hey, future captain and waiting to happen sort of thing.
He's gonna go join Captain Jim Cotta and seduce ladies.
Although to be fair, there were 2 episodes in the first season that made it look like Geordi might become a captain. It happened twice.
Yeah.
There have been various moments where other crew members have had a taste of authority or needed to assume
Data
authority.
was in charge of a ship a few times. The last episode was all about Riker becoming a captain. So it happens to everyone, I guess. Everyone's captains.
And we all are the captain now.
Yeah.
Yes. So so there's a scene where Data's talking to Picard, and he's like he gets his Earl Grey tea. Now we're starting to see it more often.
This is number 2.
Yeah.
Hot.
I'm trying to keep track now.
Earl Grey tea. Hot.
It's great that
is this wait, are you counting the one that came out wrong?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the first time we're actually seeing the tea.
Yeah. I am counting is anytime he says tea, Earl Grey, hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he says it, then it's enough.
It's funny because Data walks in, right? Is it? I'm not looking at the scene right now. It was Data that walked in, right?
Yeah.
Or was it? Yeah. Data walks in and he's like, Mr. Captain, may I talk to you? And Picard ignores him and keeps going to the replicator and goes, I can't talk until I've had my tea. Great, hot. And he takes a sip and he goes, oh, okay, let's talk.
What's funny is that after Data says his first line to him as he's stirring his tea, then Picard looks up and goes, "What?"
Yeah. What the fuck are you here for? So then we have the whole scene because he has to deliver the message for them to basically get out of the planet, but he lets Data go deliver the message directly. It's really weird. It's just a constant. They constantly are doing things that question their intelligence. And I hate that. And I hate that so much. But here's where my imagination ran wild. I'll tell you, and we're getting to it. So he goes down. Okay. Data goes down to the planet, and he sees that it's exploding. It's basically Krypton. They're in Krypton, and they're trying to reverse the implosion, and before they send Superman to Earth, and
exactly,
cause chaos. So, but she's there and she's alone now, and so he takes her up to the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
He takes her up to the ship, and first of all, he takes her out of the bridge, out of the transporter room, which is a serious violation of germs, dude.
Yeah,
Ian Miles O'Brien's like you're taking her.
Mm-hmm.
She shouldn't. We don't know what kind of germ she has.
Well, to be fair, every transporter
don't they have some sort of biofilter or something?
As a filter.
I think they've offhandedly mentioned that as
shit has gone through that filter tons of times.
Exactly.
So, what if she spits on somebody and they're like, oh my god, she's got alien spit.
Oh no, she's a Dilophosaurus.
Yeah. But second of all, this girl is really clingy. She's clinging to Data, and she's like, "Oh, Data, don't leave me here alone, please. No." Mm. And I thought, this person is a little assassin, dude. She's gonna get to the bridge. She's gonna get to the bridge, and she's gonna pop out her gun and fucking shoot Picard, dude.
I've been looking for you for 3 months.
Yeah, Picard. I've traveled
she's been spending 8 weeks slowly gathering intelligence.
That'd be a hell of a twist.
You have a captain? What's his name? Where does he live?
I honestly
when does he sleep?
Yeah. I honestly
what is his greatest fear?
This was gonna happen. Seriously, dude. I thought she's gonna roll up to the bridge and fucking detonate a nuke or something. and I thought, well, they wouldn't kill the whole thing, but I'm like, she's gonna kill somebody in the bridge. And I was wrong. I was totally wrong, and I let my imagination run wild.
It's very interesting. You have that instinct.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, but as soon as Ricardo says it, I'm like, I could see that.
Because think about it. She comes in, she's all timid, and then they're like, we're going to take you to the medical bay. And she's like, no, Data, I want to stay with you because I'm so scared. And I'm like, oh, she's playing it up, dude. As soon as she lets go of Data's hand, boom, in with a knife and fucking shanking somebody, dude. I think I've seen too many prison movies. But Deanna Troi does kind of sense like, oh, she's just scared. But I'm like, what if she's sensing that she's scared because she's got to kill the captain?
Well, since we've already passed it, I do want to point out, like, I know that I've started out earlier, always calling Miles O'Brien a drunk, but Miles O'Brien's really good in this episode too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Is it Riker or Data who comes in just like, hey,
both? They both come in. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you didn't see nothing.
Yeah, you're taking a nap, and my Miles like, yeah, I'm taking a nap.
I didn't see it. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm taking a nap right here.
Yeah. I told somebody I was running some tests. Told him that 5 hours ago. So anyway, they have to do this thing with the planet where like they're going to do the thing that Wesley wants, which is to like do this thing and it's going to fix the planet and stabilize it. Mm-hmm. And they have to do it, but this girl won't let go of fucking Data's hand. She's very clingy, dude. And her hair's a mess, dude. She's got to run a comb through that shit, dude.
Yeah,
even Newt from Aliens had better kept hair.
Yeah, dude, and she is there alone for like months.
I gotta be honest, were they just trying to make her look really, really weird? Because she just kind of looks this is really mean to say about a small child, but she looks kind of grotesque, right?
Yeah. I think they paid special attention to making sure that, I don't know, I think they tried to like keep the appealing, like they made sure that her eyes were mostly untouched.
But it made the amount of cheekbone and head bone makeup they put on her.
The thing that keeps distracting me is how much they keep, like, I don't know if the director told her to do this or what, but how often she holds up her hands and they like show off her long fingers, her long pinky and stuff. Yeah. It's like it just flops around. It's clear she has no control over the joints.
Yeah, that's not great. And also, I feel like the really big cheekbones and forehead make it look like it's a full adult human head on a small child body, and that makes it feel really awkward. It looks like those terrible.
I feel like it's not that far off the mold that what's his face, who's constantly vaping with the harmonica.
What?
Harmonica vape man.
Zarlak man.
Fishman.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that guy.
Yeah. Like it looks like that. Like a similar design to that, only that they like kind of stopped at the mouth.
Kind of, but like the proportions to me, it reminds me of like the horrific children in like LA Noire, where they just don't look right. They clearly stapled someone's an adult head onto a child. Yeah. Clearly, they didn't staple an adult head onto a child body in this show. Yeah. But the proportions just maybe
the first thing that was like made was the prop of like her doll, because that doll looks like absolute shit. It looks like a grotesque piece of shit, and they just like, you know what? Let's model her after this doll. The prop department has we got to follow what they did.
Yeah.
That doll's really bad.
She's got this little alien girl's got a coke finger, a coke pinky.
She does. She uses the whole pinky to scoop up a whole thing of coke.
Yeah, I think her whole plan does like cocaine, dude. Look at her hair. That's why her hair is disheveled, and it's got a bunch of glitter on it because their cocaine is.
That's not glitter.
It's glitter colored. Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned Chucky last week, and that's total like Chucky hair.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So anyway, they send those things into the planet and they save the planet. And then Data's walking back because they got to send her to medical bay. And Data's walking back with her. And there's a dude behind Data, and he is fucking ripped as shit, dude. That guy fills out the uniform perfectly. Like he's like, they're like, give him an extra large, and he's like, barely gonna fit in this. And it's
that's true. Wow,
he's
that is a security guy.
Yeah,
he's definitely security. In fact, I think he might have shown up earlier, like as part of War Security Details before.
Yeah. And then Pulaski is gonna wipe her memory. She's gonna do the old noisy cricket. What is it called? The neuralizer.
Yeah, the neuralizer.
Only that it doesn't work nearly as efficiently. They have to kind of eternal sunshine of the spotless minded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Takes a little while.
So she sees a rock and she's like, "What is this?" And Pulaski's like, "Oh, this is a singing stone, a Mexican singing stone." It sings mariachi music. And then she's like, "Oh, this is so cute," and she's holding it, and Data's like, "Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't sing for me."
I had to really turn up my volume to even hear what was coming out of the stone.
It's quite low.
Yeah,
and it's like it's just like a tone, man.
Yeah,
it was like hardly a song.
It sounded like this, but it was all accordion and mariachi style.
Oh man, don't badmouth accordion or maracas, man.
Well, no, it's mariachi style. So
mariachi's great.
Yeah, so they lay her down and they do the neuralizer on her, and then Data goes and takes her back to her home planet, but he leaves her the Mexican singing rock. So when she wakes up, she's probably gonna remember Data.
And he fucked up the timeline.
Yeah, sure did. That pervert
Data can't stop making horrible decisions vis-a-vis the Prime Directive.
Yeah, the pervert that kidnapped her. She'll remember him forever. God damn it, Data, you bitch ass fool. And then he goes back and he's talking. He is, first of all, Wesley, like Riker gets up and he's like, "You did a good job, dude. I love you, son." Wesley. And then Data comes in and he's talking about, he goes and talks to the captain. Basically, like, he's got to apologize because he really fucked up this whole thing. He really fucked it up.
Yeah, he went really outside of the bounds of what he normally should be doing as like third in command of the ship.
Yeah.
That's essentially what he is.
Geordi should run some tests on him. Yeah. And the captain's like, no apology necessary. It's like, no, this is a bitch ass Wesley move where he almost killed everybody.
Oh no one was in danger. That's the thing. It's not like Wesley where he literally put the ship in danger of an explosion.
I will give Data that. This was about saving a life rather than endangering everyone's lives.
Yeah, if it went badly, no one would be saved. If it went correctly like it did, everyone is saved. You know, like it's not like, you know, he would kill everyone, but it's just I feel like the story takes a few liberties with what characters are doing just for the sake of like narrative, like not narrative, but like the setup. Like the setup just has to exist in order for the story to work.
Yeah.
But they're not like, well, a lot of it's not well motivated, you know. Why is Data doing this project?
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Well,
you know,
it all comes down to this last line in the episode, which is a thing Picard says, which is remembrance and regrets. They're all part of friendships, and understanding that, he says, has brought you a step closer to understanding humanity, which is what the whole thing about this episode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But again, scene kind of like I have a slight issue with that scene just because of how uncomfortable Picard had visibly been all throughout this whole process.
He seems to be, he had his Earl Grey tea.
Yeah, like the whole time he's like, "Oh God, like you're like
he
now
keeps
this
talking
like
when they talk to Riker, he's like, "How deep are we in now?"
I really like that they do that.
I like
they
that.
gesture to each other how
deep
far
now?
over their heads
The
they are.
inside joke.
Yeah.
That's good.
He's like,
I like
how about
that little
now?
thing
He's
that
like,
they do.
He's like, I got shit coming out of my eyes, man.
But so like the way he just sweeps it all in the rug and like just gives him some, it feels like a platitude to me.
Yeah. Well, anyway, but that was pen pals, right?
I also want to point out that we never see what's her name? Zendaya.
Zendaya.
Sarjenka. She never wakes up.
Oh no, she's dead.
She could.
We never see her conscious again.
No. We
don't know if the memory wipe succeeded.
They didn't check to see if it didn't just put her in a coma or something. She's dead.
She wakes up and she's like the Encino Man. She can't talk.
Okay, so here's a question for you now. What do Captain Picard's captain's logs look like throughout this experience?
Oh, he just stopped doing logs. He's like, oh, we can't get in trouble. Yeah.
There is a log midway through the episode where he confirms that they are responding to a distress signal. Quote.
See, yeah, that's allowed. That allows them to circumvent the Prime Directive, because once they were directly contacted with a plea for help, they were allowed to be like, okay, someone's asking for help outside of.
All right, but directly prior to that, I guess you can just leave out the part where Data kind of forced them to hear a distress signal.
Yeah, it's fine. He just fudged up the report, and it's fine.
Yeah, like I just want to hear like what his version of events is in the logs. I just want to see.
He probably did it like I do timesheets, which is if you don't do them enough, Eventually, you're like, well, if I do my timesheets, it's gonna cut in. It's probably like 5 hours of fucking OT just to do my timesheets. And they're like, it's fine. Just tell us how much OT you did.
Oh boy.
And
Well,
that's how
anyway.
you get away from doing timesheets.
What would you guys give the episode?
I put this, I think, in the 7-ish range. Around 7.
I agree.
Wow.
I'd give it
Wow.
like a 7. Yeah. I like the premise. I think the execution is just not there emotionally. I think that's the main problem with the show, is that the episode is just that it didn't like.
I didn't talk too much about the Wesley plotline myself, but I do relate a lot to Wesley's plight, because this is just a quick personal note for me. Like at my work where I happen to work, like a while back, I was kind of promoted over people who are older than I was. And I had this period of time where I was like, I don't know how comfortable I am, ordering people so much older than I around. Or like, telling them what to do, not exactly ordering them around, but, just having a higher ranking position and all that. And eventually I became the supervisor of that team. And pretty much everyone, there was older than me. So like Wesley's dilemma really resonated with me when I first saw this episode, like however many years ago. And it, brought back those feelings again as I watched it. So that bit I also like that's the part that I think I enjoy the most about this episode too. And I also, like we discussed earlier, I like that they actually try to discuss the nuance of the Prime Directive.
Yeah.
And something that they hadn't done before. And I also want to point out how funny it was that Dr. Pulaski, like after Worf says, we shouldn't do anything, and Pulaski says, well, I think that's kind of cowardly. And Worf is like, the fuck you just say? And then Picard's like, I'm sure Dr. Pulaski didn't mean that, Worf. Just calm down.
She's willing to start fights.
Don't rip her arms off.
Yeah.
Did you ever tell Carl to shut the fuck and do what you're telling him? Dan, you're like, Carl, shut the fuck up, you old piece of shit. Just do what I'm telling you to do. I don't even know if there's a Carl at your work.
Fortunately not.
Yeah. I'm going to give it 4.
Wow, that's super low.
That's pretty dang low.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
I was limboing. How low can you go?
Well, all right. Well, that's fine. That was pen pals.
I think Catch Me on a Bad Day, I might demote it to a 6.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 7 because I recognize the flaws, but I like the concept of the episode. And when I first watched it when I was younger, I really liked it. But that's just nostalgia. But anyway, that was an episode of Newbie Star Trek. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you liked the episode, it'd be great if you could give us a review on Apple Podcasts or Podcast Addict. That'd be pretty sick. Only if you want to.
Or don't.
It's fine. And also, if you want to contact us, you can contact us at contact@newbiestartrek.com. I said contact 3 times in a row in one sentence.
You should have made it first contact at Newbie Star Trek.
Not everyone gets to be first contact, okay?
I guess
everyone, that's... I intentionally made it just
ostensibly,
contact.
Everyone could get their own first contact.
Yeah.
No.
You should name the
it wouldn't
email
be our first contact. It would be their first contact.
It's from our perspective.
Okay.
So you could have called it your first contact at newbiestartrek.com, but even that wouldn't apply to people who try to write multiple emails.
Your
to
first
us.
contract? It's like you have answered you, referring to me. That is incorrect. The correct answer is you.
You should have named it Contact by Carl Sagan, starring Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey.
Wait, was Carl Sagan involved with Contact?
Yeah,
I thought he wrote the book.
He didn't write the book. I think he was heavily involved in the creation of the movie and like a lot of the scientific stuff around the movie. Yeah. Because
was he like the principal, like consultant or something?
Oh yeah. Okay. The novel is written by Carl Sagan. Yes.
See, dude,
like he is a writer first and foremost.
Steal my thunder, dude.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe
Martin,
not first and foremost, but he was famous for books before he was famous for other stuff.
We do have mail this week. This week it's from our friend Nate, who wrote and performed and composed the song for our two songs, Earl Grey Hot, which is our theme song, and Around the Sun. So he asks, "Hey fellas, why do you think crew members never lock the holodeck doors when they're having their weird fantasies in there? And if you had access to the holodeck, what would be your fave program? Would you lock the doors? P.S. 311 sucks. Nate.
Oh yeah, Nate knows what's up. I like Nate already, dude.
I'm actually in the dark about this. What's 311?
311
it's a
is a
band.
band you never want to listen to, dude.
Okay.
I think he
Yeah.
said that because when we first heard the theme song,
I mentioned something about 311.
Yeah.
It was just like it just gave me like a beachy vibe. But Nate, I didn't mean it as a bad thing. It's just it gave me a beachy vibe. But I too hate 311. I hate 911. I hate all the 11s.
7-Eleven?
7-Eleven. Fuck them, dude. Why do they have locks on their doors if they're open all the time?
Damn.
Oh, it's deep.
Yeah.
Man.
So anyway, what were we talking about? Are we talking about
Well,
rating?
So
I don't know where I'm at.
why do you think they lock their holodeck doors? And if
I
you
think-
had access to the holodeck, what would you do?
I think they're perverts, and they're the type of people that are like, oh, you caught me naked. It's like, no, you didn't
But
lock you didn't lock the fucking bathroom door, you piece of shit, dude. You pervert.
What a thrill.
And then, does everyone want to go and say why they leave it open, and then we'll talk about our fantasies?
No, I definitely lock. I lock things when I'm just doing nothing. I just don't want people in the room.
I would.
That's fair. It's a fair
So,
approach.
okay, so real talk here. So before I had a kid, I would lock the door in the bathroom. You know.
But now, yeah.
But here's the weird thing. So this is gonna be a quick little deep dive. I don't mind. Like I will pee with the door open. I don't mind it. Like I've talked to like cousins, friends. If like I'm tagged with you and I'm having a deep conversation, I'll leave the door open so I could still talk to you, and I'll just pee. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing other business, I close the door, right? Because you don't want weird sounds coming out of the bathroom. But then when I had a kid, I started leaving it open so I could hear him and make sure he was okay. But just recently, like I started closing it again. And if my wife's in the house, I close it. I don't do it. It's not open. But I started closing it again. And recently, I wouldn't lock it because just like people know, like if it's closed, somebody's in there. If it's open, nobody's in there. That's the rules of the house. No closed doors if there's nothing going on. So my kid does this thing where he'll kick the fucking door open. And he'll be like, poof, Dad, come look at this thing. And it's like, dude, I'm going poop, my man. Close the fucking door. I'll look at your SpongeBob episode later, you ghoul. But he doesn't come in like normal. Like, I mean, hold on. I knock and I open. No, he kicks the door open. So I'm starting to lock it now. So now, like he like karate chops the door, and he's like, "Why is this locked?" And it's like, "Because of you." That's why.
That's good. That's good.
So that's my locking. That's my policy on locking doors. And what kind of fantasy I like to have?
Yeah, what would you do in the holodeck?
Look, you know what I would do. I would throw on my ExpressVPN and go see the harp ladies. You know.
What about you, Dan?
Well, that is a tempting, use of it. Not gonna lie.
I mean, like that's like the main thing people would probably do with the holodeck.
That's at least okay. That's the thing. It's like the holodeck is literally infinite possibilities. Of course, like if you have free reign over use of one, that's at least something you should try.
Yeah, some of it will be porn. Like it's inescapable.
So
porn aside, let's do porn aside then.
Okay,
100%, 100% Westworld. I'm killing somebody. 100%.
Oh,
immediately.
just to know what it's like.
Yeah.
I don't think I go there, but
Come on, Dan. Don't you have some pent up rage?
I mean, maybe you could set up like one of those like stress rooms where you destroy everything.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. That I can dig.
Yeah.
Or maybe some if the holodeck can be programmed such that you actually have like powers and it fools you into thinking you have powers.
Oh.
It's like, it lets you believe you can jump really high. or maybe even fly, you know.
Give you superpowers. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Like those sorts of simulations would be pretty fun.
Yeah, that would be cool. I was glad Nate asked this question because I actually have had a very specific fantasy about the holodeck since I was in like middle school.
All right, let's go for it.
And basically,
PG-13.
basically, it's like a holodeck is the ultimate movie studio. You could make any movie you want and instantly.
That's true. Absolutely.
You know,
I guess so.
Any actor you wanted, any set you wanted, any like type of premise you wanted.
So you would direct it, or would you watch it?
No, I would want to use the holodeck as a way to make movies.
Oh, that's cool. Because
when I was younger, like to me, the prospect of, especially like when I was younger, I also wanted to like make animations. And I'm like, I can't animate for I can't draw. So like, I can't really animate. But I thought of like a holodeck. It's like, oh, you can just like have it create things and you take pictures of it. Like, and it doesn't have to be realistic, right?
Yeah.
So you just create like a CG or even like hand drawn looking thing, and on that you capture it. Or if you wanted to make a movie, you're like, I would really love if Brad Pitt played this.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll just make Brad Pitt in the holodeck.
Yeah.
And, you know, just have
Brad Pitt plays Geppetto. You know what? That's a very innocent and artistic fantasy, and I commend you on it. I feel really perverted now.
It's just something I
What would you
always
do,
thought
Ricardo?
of.
I don't know, murder and fucking. You, Marvin? Oh, I don't know. I would make a beautiful Terrence Malick style movie with.
Because you know what? Filmmaking is hard. It'd be great if a computer could just make the movie for me.
but don't you think that that's part of like art? Like that, the fact that it's so hard that
now that I'm older, like part of the magic of any artistic form that is collaborative. Yeah, that's collaborative is part of like a good collaboration is larger than the sum of its collaborators, you know? So they all come together and create something unique. If you did it artificially in a computer, it would be like,
I feel like the fantasy. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I just think, but even if you did that, I feel like a holodeck would still be a great way to be like, oh, I need a set, or I need to be at a location that is otherwise very difficult to reach.
Well, exactly, because like oftentimes in the process of making a film or a movie or whatever it is, like you have ideas that would be best. Like you have your vision, right?
Yeah,
and the holodeck is a solution to being able to get exactly what that vision is,
right?
As opposed to compromising because you only found a location that has this, and this, and not everything you wanted,
right?
Or other things like that.
That being said, I do think a part of some of the most interesting interactions in filmmaking come out because you had to compromise. And like a George Lucas. But got
those
exactly
are
what he wanted.
But those are very unpredictable. So I do still think that that the holodeck fantasy is being able to give you the best shot at producing your purest version of what you came up with.
True. It's also essentially
I'm going to stay with killing and fucking. I'm not going to change mine.
Basically what I meant to boil it down to is like the holodeck is how you make a movie without being a collaborator.
Yeah, if you wanted to just do it yourself,
the best way to make your movie that's just
that would be the way of doing it. Yeah, or you could just use it like a green screen, and like instead of like imagining everyone's there, and then instead of having Josh Brolin like look like Josh Brolin in a thing and have like a cardboard Thanos head above him,
he would look like Thanos.
Yeah, just make him look like Thanos.
Yeah, and then you'd say cut, and then he'd be like, anybody have whatchamacallits? I want one of those chocolates. Whatchamacallits?
That's too inside for me.
I know.
But that was my.
I'm trying to think if there's anything different. No, that's it, dude.
Killing fucking
I asked my wife the other day. I was like, if there's
I just came up with a great simulation program.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
You go inside. It's just a line of every breed of dog sitting patiently waiting for you to pet their head.
You fight them? Okay. Sorry. I went the wrong way.
And they all just want to be pet.
Yeah.
You just pet them.
Yeah. Well, and they'll also wait patiently too, if you so wish.
Yeah, they're not all jumping like on you and stuff. They're calm.
Hundreds of dogs just jumping.
I would. I asked my wife this the other day. I was like, "Hey, if there's a Westworld type situation, is it cheating if you hook up with a robot whore?" And she's like, "I don't know. She's like, "If we get to that technology, I'll let you know."
I mean, that's a fair answer. That's a very fair and measured answer because it's really hard to tell how you're going to feel.
Also, because what if he says no and then it happens next year and I'm out there at fucking Westworld killing people, fucking whores.
And just like, I know I made a decision at the time, but I had no idea that I would feel this way. I didn't even think it was going to be real. I was just joking.
I didn't know Jeff Bezos was going to make Westworld.
He fucking would.
He would.
He's the guy who would.
Yeah.
He'd make it in
100%.
space. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for the question, Nate. That was good. That was good. So, all right. Thanks for listening to Newbie Star Trek, everybody. If you like the stuff we've been doing in general, you can check out our other podcast, Fugitive Frames Film Podcast. That's coming out. Just came out with the Marvel episode.
Yeah,
we've been talking about it for like months, but it's finally out. You can listen to it.
It's a drunk film review. It's just our friend Savannah shitting on the fucking Marvel universe. We got a part 2 that we're recording soon, which is phase 2.
Yeah.
Listening to that, I was just like, God damn it, she really shits on this fucking series. She loved the Thor movies though, because
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. No. Spoiler alert, but we were a little tipsy, so go check it out. There was a lot of yelling.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we have our YouTube channel, Fugitive Games, and that is where we're doing LPs of stuff. Right now, we're going through Shadow of the Colossus, going through Batman Arkham Origins. Dan is streaming a lot of Greatest Attorney, and
I'm on the last case, so it won't be long before you can actually watch me play the whole game.
Yes,
I'm contemplating getting the controllers for Flight Simulator. Getting really drunk and doing a Flight Simulator drunk.
I think you did mention this idea before.
Yeah, you did.
I'm waiting for this to happen.
Okay, so you guys would be on board to like watch me do it?
Oh yeah. Let's and I'll help you get set up and everything. So we can do that.
Maybe this will happen. This will actually happen.
Yeah, let's do it. And then because now you have like a sick gaming PC that can handle that. Because before we had trouble getting recordings going on your end. But now you have it. Yes, now you got it.
Look at me, dude. Who would have thought? Not me.
And also, I never bring this up. It's very rare, but I'm just going to bring it up because there is a feature film I made, A Knight's Tour. I'm only bringing it up because I've learned it's now being heavily pirated, which is really funny to me. It's like all these
really?
It's all over these weird torrent sites and these weird streaming sites. Which, hey, everybody, don't do that. You don't have to.
Are you able to like track and see how many hits it's getting there?
I have no idea. But you don't need to do that. You can just go to Vudu, or if you have Amazon Prime, just watch it for free there.
Yeah,
it's completely unnecessary because it's all right there. But
in fact, if
not Vudu, I'm sorry, Tubi. It's on Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi or not Tubi? That is the question. To download it legally or not to download it legally? No, download it for free this way, because guess what? Not only do you get the best quality and the best audio because it's going through your actual interface, but also it gives Marvin the credit, and maybe like if they see the metrics that are good, he goes and can make another movie. That helps. So
you don't need ExpressVPN to watch Marvin's movie.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. If you want to watch the porn version that Pornhub produced of his movie.
If you're trying to find This Ain't a Knight's Tour.
This ain't a Knight's Tour. Then go ahead and pirate that. Use your VPN. But not the original, guys.
And just as a reminder, A Knight's Tour had only male characters.
That's fine, dude. We're into we don't care what your sexuality is. He, her, them, they, all of them are welcome.
Yes.
To come.
And with that, you can find all of that at fugitiveframes.com. All of that's just linked there. But yeah. Anyway, next week we're gonna watch. I don't know if this is a good episode, but it's an important episode. It's by the episode title, you'll know who's coming back. Q who. But
to be or not to be.
But Q is not the important part of the episode. So that'll be fun and interesting. People who've watched TNG already know why this episode's important, but yeah, we'll be back with Q-Who.
They're gonna meet Cybertron soon.
Yeah, dude. Finally, Prime Directive, the real Prime Directive.
So next week we'll be diving into some of that action. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see you next week. Stay safe, everybody. See you next time.
Take care, y'all.